The drug addiction is a disease that can be treated and can be prevented. How big of a change is that from the previous drug policy strategy?
It really brings to force all of the parts of the public health system. You know, for too many years we've looked at this as mostly just a criminal justice problem. Well, I was a police chief for a long time. We can't arrest our way out of this problem.
I'm struck by the language that you used as I was reading through it. It says, it calls it substance use disorders, disease of the brain. It feels like conscious decisions to use those terms. Why that specific type of language? Does it have anything to do with some of it being treatable then through health care?
And it is treatable through health care, but what we've often found is that people just look at this as, you know, it's a moral failing. The person just needs to straighten up. We know from the science that addiction is a disease, but we also know that we can treat it, and more importantly, we know people can recover and be back taking care of their families and paying their taxes.
And you're proposing changes to how the country actually prosecutes these folks who buy, sell, and use illegal drugs. What are those changes that you're proposing?
I think the most important changes and what we've seen is that the work gets done at the local level, at the state and local level. And when we propose new policies and new programs that actually help people get into recovery, we know that they're not going to continue to be recycled back through the prison system, which is not only incredibly costly, but really doesn't do anything to make this country safer.
Do you have any details on when somebody would be arrested with what particular type of drug?
Well, there are another group of experiments going on in different departments, police departments across the country, from Providence, Rhode Island to Seattle, Washington, in which they are looking at and using ways or alternatives to both arrest and alternatives to incarcerating people that, again, both keep people in that community safe, but also recognize the addiction and the disease problem of drugs.
I want to talk about prescription drug abuse because this is a big one, right? Up 300% since 1990. And doctors inadvertently become a part of the problem by providing the drugs. It's the people who abuse them, right? So how do you deal with this problem?
We have a plan that we put in place that is now just about 1 year old, and it really works very well, and we think it's going to make a lot of progress, and we're all actually starting to see it. It's about educating parents about the dangers of prescription drugs. It's about cleaning out medicine cabinets in a safe way. It's about enforcement on these so-called pill mills, and these are important ways that we can deal with a substance that's really coming right out of our own medicine cabinets.
Well, you mentioned the